Today on RB's Toy Box, are you bored?
I'm bored. Matter of fact, if you don't let me play, I'm gonna shoot you.
So today on RB's Toy Box, we're going to address storage because, let's face it, once you start getting your collectibles together, once you start looking for a room to put them in or how you want to display them, the display becomes part of the problem because, if you look on social media, you see guys that have their, displays up, and sometimes they were fortunate enough to get these nice glassy cabinets or something. But that's expensive. I don't know if you've ever gone shopping for those things, but it's expensive. Then you try to find enough of them that match each other. I mean, it'll be more expensive than your actual collection when you start totaling all of that up. So when I started getting to the point where I moved everything kind of into different rooms when the kids moved out, it gave me a little bit more room to expand. I needed some shelving because the bookcases that I were using, in order to kind of make things match, it was impossible. I mean, those things were like 20 years old. Trying to find another wood grain that matched just not we're going to do it. So I needed a solution that allowed me to expand and still have something that expand with that matched, because I want it to match. I want it to look nice. I want the display to look as nice as my items that I'm displaying. So I went online and I dug up a whole bunch of different places, but this particular piece right here, I can't even probably begin to pronounce it. It's Furino, F-U-R-I-N-N-O. It's on Amazon. And I'm going to tell you straight out, these things are junk. The first ones of these I got, I gave them a bad review because they're junk. It's just press board. The legs that comes with them that spaces them out, these things right here, they're plastic. They are literally junk. But they're junk if you're going to put them, like bookcases. You could never store books on these things. That would be crazy. And if you were in a, obviously my house is air conditioned down here in Florida. If I was in a garage or in a basement that was a little bit moist, I couldn't use these. With them being press board, they'd sag down within days. So that's not an option. But with these being that I've got these in the loft and I've got some down the office, I've got some in the hallway, it allowed me to get them and have everything matched together. And here on the website, I'm going to show you. If you take a look here, you're going to find the prices go up and down and up and down and up and down. You've got to keep your eyes open on the best deal. These things are obviously from China, so they price them based upon what's available on Amazon. And they also sell these at Walmart too, so you want to take a look at walmart.com. But the thing about these is if you look at them closely, with them being the exact size all the way across, you can stack them as high as you want. And if you buy like the 5 stack, it's more expensive than buying 2 of the 3 stacks. Following me so far? So you get a bunch of the 3 stacks, and then you just multiply them up, and then you end up with, an extra board here and there in case one of them breaks, and that's a good thing. And you end up with a little bit of extra hardware too, that's a good thing. So that's what I found out to do. Just the way that they're priced right now, you can buy the shorter ones and then multiply them up cheaper than you can buying the big kits already. Don't ask me why. But, these legs are plastic, and then I'm going to show you here online, I use these cable ties. They're like Velcro straps made specifically for cabling, and they work perfectly to hold these plastic tubes together. And that's the beauty of these particular shelves, is that when you take that Velcro and you hook them together and you take them from one to the next, it makes them actually quite strong. And for what I'm using them for, which is all lightweight toys, or maybe an occasional VCR or one of these lightweight TVs, they're perfect for that. I mean, because they only weigh a pound or two, they're perfect for that. And if you're displaying toy cars or die casts or Star Trek ships or plates or anything like that as part of your collection, these things are an affordable alternative so that you can get a lot of shelves and space things out a little bit, and then take Velcro them together and make it quite strong. Now, we're going to segment very quickly over to the next thing that I've done that you probably noticed, and that's these LED lights. If you just go on Amazon and you type in RGB 5050 LED lights, you're going to get a bazillion results, okay? Now, I have tried 20 of these things, and I would say that at the end of the day, they're all identical, all right? The brand name means absolutely nothing. They're all using pretty much the exact same controller. They're all using the same reel, but they'll vary in price from $9 on up to $30 to $40 to $50, and they're absolutely identical. Now, the ones that I buy have been recently out of stock, probably because I bought them out, because they were only $10 a piece, and you get two 16-foot reels with it, and then the RGB light controller, which is also Amazon compatible. But there's another set up that's a couple of dollars more. Again, it's absolutely identical to the other ones, and they all use the same kind of connectors here, which is the little 4-wire connectors. And then you can, if you need to, like on my Ghostbusters back there, where I wanted to not have all of the extra LEDs going up the poles there, I just used the wire, and you buy the whole wiring loom. It costs about $8 for 200 foot of it for the RGB, 4-wire RGB things, and you get these little connectors here. And then boom, I mean, you can stretch these things out. You can illuminate your entire cabinets or shelving, or you can do underneath lighting or backlighting, like I've got over behind my Star Trek characters back there. So all of that, I wasn't talking to you. Be quiet. He talks all the time. But it allows you to do some backlighting. It allows you to do some, I've got some glow lighting coming back behind here. It's just the RGBs pointed up. Now, I will tell you one thing. If you are going to be running televisions like this, you have to be a little strategic in the type of coax wiring that you use, because RGB lighting interferes with normal RF signals. So I'm just giving you that as a little tip, that when you put the RGB lightings in there, then you're like, oh, I'm going to display my cool TVs, and then you're like, all over the... That's why, all right? Now, if you're liking what you're seeing so far, please take a moment and hit that, subscribe button down there for me. I appreciate that. We've got 122 wonderful people that have started following us here at RB's Toy Box. I absolutely love it. We've got some more stuff coming. I apologize. I've been under the weather. We haven't had a bunch of these going. Plus, you can tell, man, we have totally expanded and added so many more items that we've just picked up along the way in the different travels that we've done. We made a couple trips to Daytona, a couple trips one trip up to Pensacola, and I mean, we just hit all kinds of comic stores and so forth looking for bargains and finding things that, like the TVs and the radios and so forth that I like to buy, and, they don't work, and you can take them apart and fix them if you got some of that skill set. So that's how I can pick up a lot of this stuff dirt cheap, because you bring them home and you fix them. I'm a tinkerer. What can I say? But I just wanted to let you know, if you're going to display some of your vintage electronics, because LED by nature interfere with RF signaling, it's going to cause everything to be all kind of fuzzy. But if you get just the heavy duty insulated coaxials and you stack these in an appropriate way, you know, it'll work. It'll work just fine. I have very, very little static on any of my televisions. Some of the newer ones, like I've got with my Mickey TV and my Cars TV, there's no static whatsoever with those. A little bit newer ones, you don't have to worry about. Some of the older ones that you've got, like vintage 70s or 80s, you're going to see some a little bit of static on those. So that's pretty much it for today. You know, take a look at those shelves online, see if that's going to work for what you want. They have 3 or 4 different color schemes. I use the round ones. Those are the cheapest ones. They've got the little whirly swirlies and so forth. They're more expensive for some strange reason, but just getting these round ones here and just getting the, you know, the 3 stacks and then just stacking them up and then, you know, Velcro strapping them together, you know what? It's going to make possibly, you know, your room look really good because you've got matching shelves, you've illuminated them with some lighting, you can use packing tape on the bottom to hold your lighting up so it's nice and even across. And I use this, let me just give you a quick caveat before we finish up for today. I use the packing tape because number one, it sticks well, but number two, it's easy to pull down without tearing anything up. See, if you take these RGB strips, they come with, you know, glue on the back of them. Sometimes they're 3N tape. And if you put those things up underneath there and then you're like me and you're like, you know, I want to rearrange my toy box a little bit, then you just wasted that. And you're going to end up spending $30 for another roll of 3M tape to make it work. In this particular setup, don't do that. Use regular good old-fashioned American packing tape. Well, there's no such thing as American packing tape anymore. It's all made in China. But if you get packing tape and you put it up in there, that'll hold these things up beautifully, right? And you can just stretch them super tight and then put your tape up, stretch them super tight, put some tape up, stretch them super tight, put some tape up, and they work marvelously. Then I'll probably make a separate video on how to use Alexa, Amazon, and then of course use your computer and tell it to do some different things. You know, you can tell this, computer, turn off my toy box. Computer, turn on my toy box. There we go. And there's my little Star Trek playing in the background. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you for when you expand out your toy box. And we'll see you again here next time on RB's Toy Box.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now. Please try a little later.